Welcome to Get Cookin'. All right, let's do another take. Hello there. I hope everything is working. So nice to be here on this another beautiful day in Thailand. And I'm going to try a few new things here today. Why not? The first thing is thin mint cookies. If you're American and you know Girl Scout cookies, if you're American, you probably 99% know of Girl Scout cookies, and this was one of my favorites, that thin mint cookie. Well, I found a vegan recipe and I'd like to try it out, and we'll see if it turns out good. It looks really simple. All right, I'm looking forward to sharing this one with you. Alrighty, and I'm also going to make something else. I'm going to try a Spanish omelet, but that's going to be a whole separate video. Anyhow, I had to put on in the background there, making my soy milk, because that recipe calls for soy milk. This recipe doesn't. What it does call for is almond flour, which is simply ground up almonds. Here in Thailand, I can get a nice big bag of this stuff, which is great. So you put 1 1/4 cup into a bowl, not my usual big bowl, but it's still the same size, the same kind that I like. I really like these metal bowls. As if you've seen me, you probably know that. And if you haven't, well, you just found that out. Strange thing to like. All right, cocoa powder or cocoa powder, a fourth a cup of cocoa powder goes into the mix. I'm going to flatten it out here. And I hope you are having a very good day. And if you're making cookies, maybe you've got a little sweet tooth. I get that from time to time. And what I find is if I make sweets and keep them in the fridge, I don't go crazy with it. It's when I have a sweet tooth and I don't have anything, that's when danger, 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 danger. It means there's a 7-Eleven right next door here. I mean, literally right next door. And it's full of all the junk you can imagine. That's pretty much all they have. And I don't really enjoy much of that food, so I don't often do it. But there is a risk of walking in there and buying stuff that you really didn't want. Whereas making something sweet that's healthy, why not? All right, I'm going to get my favorite mixing spoon. Where is it? Over here. Ding, ding, ding. And I just have the almond and the cacao in there at the moment. Let me add the other ingredients. 1/8 teaspoon salt. Basically, that means just a pinch of salt. That's a quarter. Sorry if you hear some little popping noises. That blender heats and then grinds up the soy, making a soy milk in very little time. So I'm happy about that, but it gets very, very hot. All right, 3 tablespoons maple syrup, and they say at room temperature. I don't have to worry about that too much, but this is probably going to be my last can of maple syrup in a long time. This stuff has gotten so expensive here in Thailand. I think I will just substitute coconut syrup, which is cheaper, or date syrup is even cheaper, and I'll just have to experiment with that. But personally, I love this stuff. So if you live somewhere where this is available at a reasonable price, I mean, it does involve, a lot of work to get it out of the trees, etc. I understand that, but right now it's really outrageous. So if you have it, use it. And if you don't, well, you can make some substitutions with me. Ooh, I think I've got 3 tablespoons and a little bit more, so it's going right back. Ooh, yeah, there's just a bit more. Some of the vegan recipes are really heavy on maple syrup. That's not going to be possible for me anymore. That's okay. 2 tablespoons of melted coconut oil. And here, once again, I never have the problem with that being solidified. It's never been. It's always hot enough, even though today I've got the aircon on here. There's just certain days where you just don't feel like dealing with the heat, and other days where it really doesn't bother me. So it depends. All right. And a half a teaspoon of peppermint extract. I have something called pure mint extract. I hope that's going to be good enough. I mean, that smells minty. I am following, see, what my plan is when I cook is I follow the recipe on the first round, unless I've already got it. That's true. Unless I substitute or I think something else will taste good. But in general, I like to follow the recipe and then after say, oh, this would have been good, that would have been good, etc. All right, I'm just mixing this up, but it's, ooh, that peppermint really smells. I mean, it's an extract. Yeah. Now I'm going to have to just get this in the fridge and let it sit for about 30 minutes. That's obviously to get the coconut oil solid again. So I will do that. Otherwise, I think it would just be too runny for when you're cooking. I'm going to show you what it's looking like. But it smells so minty. Woo! Yikes. It smells like toothpaste. I hope it doesn't taste like toothpaste. Mint is always a little bit, can taste like toothpaste. You don't want it to taste like toothpaste. Although the other day, I had a new tea flavor, because here in Thailand, every 100 yards is what they call chayen. I'm learning Thai. A tea place, or coffee, of course, and iced coffee, iced tea, and they put bubbles in it a lot, bubble tea, and I am a sucker for that. And of course, it's not vegan. It uses condensed milk and lots of sugar, so it's really not what anyway, I do have them. And my Thai teacher, Fun, hi Fun, I doubt she's watching this. Anyway, my Thai teacher ordered a mint chocolate tea with bubbles in it. And let me tell you, that's pretty good. My favorite has been Thai tea, which is the red Thai tea with bubbles and condensed milk, but that one was very good too. All right, I'm going to let go because this thing will be finished in a minute. I hope it didn't affect the sound of this. Probably did. Sorry, coos. Okay, so my soy milk has completed, which is good news. My cookie dough is still sitting in the, I need to turn off this. Everything's making noise today. My little phone, I don't know if you heard it, just went bing. Cookie dough is still in the fridge. I'm going to leave it sit there. And I just quickly whipped up a bit of the chocolate that's going to be dipped in. And then I'll keep these cookies in the freezer. And I did do the chocolate recipe before. I will put this one on. You know why? Because, you know why? No, of course you don't know why, because you didn't see me mix it up. 3 ingredients: coconut oil, and I don't even have to put it in a microwave or anything. Coconut oil, cacao, and honey. I never used honey before. We've got gorgeous raw honey that we get here that's actually cheaper now than maple syrup. I'm on about maple syrup, but so you mix that up and look at this gorgeous, and it is tasty. It's been confirmed already. Really tasty chocolate. If I wanted to make that into a bar, I'd put it in a bar thing, put it in the freezer or fridge. Both work. Okay, so I will show you when I get my cookies out. Oh, I just see my little bear cat. Little bear, this cat, I bought a camera for this cat because I bought a tracking device for this cat because he disappears and I don't know where he goes. I don't see him all days, but now he just came back. It's 5 p.m. or something like that. Got to turn my clock on over there. And this tracking device isn't real specific. He goes so far away. There's a big market, like night market, which is a lot of food and people, and it's across a very busy street. And he's over there. I'm like, what? This morning, he was about a mile down the road. And then on the tracker, it's like, oh, he's near you, he's near you. And then, boom, came in. The other night, I'm doing this. Remember this Pokemon game? It was like you would take your phone and then you'd have to go to coordinates and capture Pokemons. I don't know. Anyway, that's who I am. I wasn't into the Pokemon game. I am into the Find Your Cat game. So in the evenings, for fun for me, I check where he's at and I try to find him. Last night, I couldn't find him where it said. I looked, I didn't see him. The night before, I did find him and he sees me and I'm like, little bear. He looks up at me and he's like, yeah, what do you want? Come on, let's go, let's go. He follows me. And then when he realizes where I'm going, home, he turns around and walks back the other way. And I was like, you are really amazing. And the day before, I'm like, oh, he's real near. Where is he? Where is it? I go out the 7-Eleven, which I already spoke about, right next door. He's inside the 7-Eleven, like it's ice cold in there. He's inside, like welcoming people into the 7-Eleven. I was like, okay, this cat, that's why I want to put the cat cam on him, because I can't imagine what this cat sees. I mean, a lot of legs, that's for sure, and some very good looking legs probably too. All right, anyway, when I will be off for Switzerland next week. So if Coos gets into the cat cam thing, you might be seeing it earlier than later. Otherwise, it might take a while. You know, all this stuff is never real time. Real time for me making it, but not for you seeing it. All right, I will show you the rest of the cookies. But meanwhile, I'm going to get on to my other project today. I'm back for the final countdown, and that is our mint cookies. We need to put them in the oven. Before we do that, we need to roll them out, cut them into circles, and pop them in the oven. Don't you love when the wax paper or baking paper, whatever you want to call it, has a thing that works? Hallelujah. So often, those teeth don't work. This is a good one. All right, I'm dumping this dough onto the wax paper. Hope it's sticky enough to make a cookie here, because it's kind of hard to do anything else right now. Oh yeah, it seems to be sticky. I'm patting it down, but I'm going to put another one on top and then roll it flat. I'll show you after. And here we are. Let's cut out some cookies. Give that a go. What should we use? I don't have a round cookie cutter. In fact, I don't have any cookie cutters. Ooh, but this is quite round, but that's a little too big, huh? Well, let's just try a glass. That can usually work okay. Let's try a glass, I say. But my glasses are all a weird shape. Oh, I think I saw something super cool. That looks like a perfect cookie cutter. A little bit big, a little bit big. Let me see if I find anything else. Is this the same size as this, or little? This is a little smaller. This is just a top 2 for a jar. Let's go with that. There was a very nice size lizard right behind here. I took a picture with my camera. So if you see some guy running back and forth, he's just after the mosquitoes. They're cute, but they do poop and pee, so you know. what do? You just got to clean the walls. All right, I'm pressing out some cookies. It's been a big full day today. I made these cookies. I made a potato tortilla, which came out very tasty. And the salad dressing with salad, it was really good. You know, cooking, it just takes time, even when you think it's quick. It's never quick, is it? I mean, because you always have dishes, and this isn't making too many cookies because they're so big. Oh well, but they are thin. I'm going to keep them on the plastic wrap. I must say they smell quite nice. I was worried about that mint being too minty, but I don't think that's the case. I am looking for my spatula. Ta-ta-tam. Okay, now this is going to be nice. So I'm going to take out these rounds and then roll out the dough again and do the same thing. I will show you when I'm done. Plump. Okay. All right, I've got some pretty big circles on the tray here, and you know what? It's late. I kind of had enough of the kitchen, so I just rolled out the rest of the dough, and I used my pizza cutter to cut it into squares. And yeah, obviously that's not a perfect square, but that's okay with me. Yeah, I am not. Let's taste this. Pretty good. Okay, that one really stuck. And that one will make into a little round ball. You know, it's to test things out when you're cooking. You know what, people? Guess what? One thing great about cooking, who's the boss when you're cooking? You are. You know, there is something wonderful about that. And if people don't like it, tell them they can cook themselves. You know, it's so easy to get judged when you're doing things. It's just unbelievable. It's so easy to judge, but those people who are judging you, chances are that they ain't doing it. What they're doing is easy, judging. What you're doing is hard, doing, trying, being creative. And that's what it is. So if you get tired, if you come up with, if you just like here, I mean, this is far from perfect. Now we're going to be opening a restaurant soon. Am I going to put far from perfect things out? Probably. Why? Because that's how life is. It is far from perfect, unless you want to be a factory-made food, which I'm not even interested in. Anyway, there's what my cookies are looking like. Pop them in the oven. 10 minutes. They said be very careful, they can burn. I could see that happening. All right, let's do it. I'm going to be very careful with that for the timing. Take them out, and then remember my sauce, the chocolate's already kind of really thickened up. We're going to dip it in there, and then we'll be done. Dip, 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 and put it in the freezer. Will I lick this? That's the question. What do you think? Of course. That's another plus about being the cook. Are you allowed to try? Yes. So earlier I made the chocolate sauce, which was 3 ingredients. Remember what they were? It's a test. Cacao, coconut oil, and honey. That was a test for me. And since it's the mint cookies, I am going to add in just a drop or 2. Very, very light of the peppermint. And I am putting it in a spoon because if the thing comes out too fast, it would ruin it. So I just want a drop or 2. 2, 3, 4. 4 drops, I think. I'm mixing that in. A little bit of chocolate mint for our chocolate mint cookies. I was going to whisk it up, but I'm not. I'm just going to spatula it up. And I'm still waiting a few more minutes for my cookies to finish. And then I have to let them cool before I dip them in. Hello! So the ending of my mint cookie recipe was pretty abrupt because it was really late and I had enough. Happens even to moi. Anyway, so what happened that you didn't see was I took these cookies, here's one that's only half dipped in chocolate, and plunged it in the chocolate. And some of them I covered on both sides, and some just on one side. In the end, I really liked the square cookies the best. What about you, Coos? Did you prefer the square or the round ones?
Square.
Yeah, me too. I like the square better. So next, and they're much easier to make squares because you just have to cut them. These, as you can tell, were put in the freezer, and that's where we're keeping them because they make a really nice sweet treat. I would like to try a different mint flavor. For me, the mint flavor is a little bit weird. It's not the mint. I think all countries have different flavors. You know, like the American mint is not the same as this mint, even though it was an American brand. So that's kind of weird. But like pickles, for sure, pickles have different flavors in every country. Anyway, Coos, you like this?
Yes.
Very much.
Very good.
Yeah. So we're just showing you the finished product and telling you how to dip them in. And you can keep them in the refrigerator too. But the freezer does make a very nice treat, especially when you're in such a hot country. Thank you and catch you soon. Bye. Would you like to try one? There you go. Square for you. Big round one for me. Oh, boy, those are hard. There we go.